Go for it.
No. All right, Marcel was fucking cooked earlier.
What are you talking about? We're in podcast mode. I'm in, bro. I'm still drinking. I don't know if you've been noticing. While you guys been blowing off.
I'm fiber.
Yeah, let's take a fiber. It's fine.
I gotta
wait for it. Go for it.
That's why NBA, bro. I'm a Celtics fan, and thank God. But I feel actually shut up. I feel positive.
Will, talk your shit, bro. Talk your shit, boy.
What?
He's a fan of a Denver Broncos. Sorry.
Are you a Denver Broncos fan?
No, he just likes to say that.
No, it's the truth, man.
No, he is.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Catina Vibes, the podcast with your hosts, Totally Grizz and Muff Bunzo. How we doing, Matt? How we doing?
We're doing good. We made it to the round of 8, the quarterfinals. You know, we're getting hype.
Yes. As you guys can see, we got some special attire on. Today's a special episode. Like Matt just said, we got a few things to talk about today, and we have a special guest joining us here today. It's gonna be a pretty wild podcast. We're talking about the Champions League quarterfinals, and it's gonna be a fucking lit day to speak of. I unfortunately do not have a new jersey, so I'm rocking my old USA team jersey.
Yeah, and Chelsea's not in.
And Chelsea's not in. We're not talking about Chelsea right now because they weren't good enough to qualify for anything besides dinners. So that hurts me. But without further ado, sorry, can't speak today. We're gonna go ahead and introduce our special guest, a good friend of Matt's. Let's bring him on in. Here comes Will.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to bring in the one, the only William Squilliam Bedillium.
Yeah. Welcome. What's up, Will?
I've only got one security number, baby. It's your boy. It's your boy, isn't it? Boy, it's maybe your girl. It's 24, so it may be your girl. We don't know.
Might be a girl. Couldn't be mine. I couldn't be asked.
It's a trap.
It is mine.
But yeah, so we're excited to have Will on here. This will be the first of our many future soccer/sport updates here. Talk about UEFA Champions League here, and Will's a knowledgeable man, so we'd like to have him on here, and hope you guys embrace him with open arms here.
No. I can spell UEFA. I can spell it, so I'm good at it.
Nice.
Sir.
We felt like we needed to add an additional source of opinion because your boy over here does not know enough to keep up with the conversation. Hence, I'm wearing the U.S. jersey. This is a completely different tournament, and United States is not even in the fucking tournament. I don't know why I'm wearing it.
I have a Fluminense jersey on, so I'm not. We're both lost in the sauce. It's all good.
Okay, I got you.
We also have this biased fellow over here with all of this gear on. So we know who this guy's rooting for. So.
He's rooting for the Denver Broncos. Like honestly,
he's rooting for clearly the Denver Broncos. He's gonna ride with
number one team, bro. Number one team for him.
Yes, let's ride. Bayern Nation. Let's ride. Oh, sorry, Steelers Nation.
Steeler Nation, let's go, boy. Completely wrong football. Wrong type of football. Well, boys, as you guys can see on the screen, as I'm sharing my screen right now, we were talking about the quarterfinal for the UEFA Champions quarterfinal draw. Again, I haven't been UEFA, Wi-Fi,
the Wi-Fi Championship.
Now, I have not been keeping up with what's been going on with the tournament, so I'm honestly going to let you guys really go in and chime in whenever. And you guys can go ahead and start explaining. What do you guys see right here? What's been going on? I completely out of the loop of what the fuck's been going on here.
It's. I mean, Will, you can attest to it. It's been an interesting Champions League this year. There were a bunch of teams in there that squeaked through on some easy lineups, and there were some really hard groups to advance from. So I mean, you've got your perennial contenders, but there's some dogs in this lineup here still. and there were some dogs in the round of 16 that didn't make it. So.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, if the current lineup kind of reminds me, this is a kind of a retro setup. This reminds me of a few years ago. I'm pretty pro Atleti, so yep. It's good to see them back in it. It's been a while. And okay, I mean, or that, and then it's fun to see someone like Arsenal, as much as I'm a Man U fan as I am. It's fun to see another team, an English team at least, represented that's not fucking man shitty. So
yeah,
that's a good.
It is. I will second that. It is. You know what? Props to Arsenal, man. Props to Arsenal.
Oh, 100%. Like, even though, like, again, I haven't been following. Obviously, I know the teams that we have playing for us, and obviously the boys in blue, Chelsea, are nowhere near this fucking scoreboard. I am glad to see Arsenal in the fucking quarter 8. Matt, fuck you. And honestly, I have no idea how this is going to go down, because the first round game is Arsenal versus Bayern, and obviously, like Will said earlier, we have a very biased person in the group.
See, that's the thing is, I wouldn't even consider myself biased, because I'm going to be real with you. We haven't been the same Bayern this season, and you can attribute that to Chelsea deciding to give us their leftover nut. And we got Thomas Tuchel. And honestly, I'm very confused with how the board, and I mean, that's why we got rid of the board of directors that we had. We got rid of Khan. We got rid of Salimzovic. I don't fucking butchered his name. I don't care. He sucked. But those, I mean, it's one of those years for us where it's not your typical Bayern that you're seeing this year, and it's really, in a way, it's the last of the generation. Your guys like Müller and Neuer, we're not going to be having them around come next World Cup. Maybe we might not have them on the squad next year, so it's going to be a very interesting. It's not one of those years where you look at and you're like, oh, okay, it's fucking Bayern. And that's even coming from me. Like, this is probably the most scared in a round of 8 that in a quarterfinal round in Champions League that I've been in the last 10 years.
So with reason. I mean, yeah. So if Bayern, I think, has slipped up or been soft in any department, I don't think anybody can argue it's been defensively, right? So like Upamecano throughout the season, the leaving of, we could talk about Boateng if you want, but I mean, like, there's just been people that have left. There's been some shifts that have, right. There have been some sideline things that have been going on. So, but I'm just looking at, I'm comparing the defense. So up on my screen right now, I'm looking at the Arsenal lineup, because I know, I'm like, all right, I have a general.
Let's go ahead and do that. We'll break into teams here. Side note, we cut this out. Let's break down lineups for the 2 matchup teams, and then we can all give our opinions on the matchup, and then go from there, if that works.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so if we're looking at Arsenal, right? So yeah, Arsenal obviously in goals, Ramsdale. It's most likely in the back.
Well,
it's going to be.
They did have Raya in their last game.
That's right. They did have Raya. That's true. And that's a good point. They're probably going to stick with Raya. He's been more consistent this season, I think. Ahead of him.
Yeah, he looked a little shaky in that last game, but I mean, they were pretty much already in. It went to pens actually because of how shaky the defense and Raya was playing, but he held it down in the penalty shootout.
That's another reason I just think that I think Arsenal's gonna come out strong. I think they're gonna play up. I think they're gonna play to their center, because I mean, if like, depending on, I'm thinking it's obviously, I'm looking at Ben White and then Gabriel in the center. Saliba's on the bench. That's Timbers on the bench. Those are good options. Zinchenko's an amazing option. Tomiyasu, another great option.
Even Kedrick could come off the bench. He's
100%. Yes.
They've got a very well-rounded team this year. So.
No, I think what Arsenal has been doing this season, what they lacked last season, was feeding the ball to Trossard, was feeding the ball to Gabriel Jesus, was feeding the ball to Saka and Martinelli. And I think that now with the midfield, with the addition of Rice, Havertz this season, dude, it's been a different Arsenal. They're not playing game to game.
Nope.
I think they're able to play out a few games. They can say, look, let's put some guys, let's sit someone down this match. Yeah. And I mean, it's been a while. I mean, everyone's had a chance to recover, but I think that I'm just looking on paper here, because, like, let's say they're forwards right now. Forwards for Arsenal: Saka, Jesus, Martinelli, Nelson, Trossard, and Nketiah.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you right now, any of those 5 are top class. They would start in any of the clubs in the Champions League. Really, they'd get playing time. I know they're probably trying to get away from Jesus a little bit. We've seen some news about that. But I mean, like, you could literally run a rotating lineup of any of these 5 people and be getting some powerful play out of them. So
yeah, and even with Reece Nelson is not the worst off of the bench, man. I mean, we saw what he did last year, saving their ass in that. I forgot who that Wolves.
Anybody's better as backup than fucking Choupo-Moting.
Now, let me ask you guys this: because I didn't watch the game itself, but I have the stats here pulled up. Like, how dominant was Arsenal against Porto in that qualifier match?
So, from what I saw, and Will, you can correct me if I'm wrong, Porto really didn't have control over the game as much. Porto's more of a sneaky come back and get you kind of team. Like, you slip up and Porto's going to put the ball in the back of your net. So they had some good goals. They played really well, but I think Arsenal, like Will was saying, with the way that they move the ball, they just kind of lull you into a sense of false security, thinking that you're able to park the bus on them, and then they'll come get you. With the lethality, if they're moving the ball down the pitch, you need to be scared of that team.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think, I mean, if we're just looking at the last game with Porto and stuff like that, it's 2 different teams. Like Matt just said, Porto is they don't really have a choice. They're a counter-focused team. They strike quick. They'll get long balls over the top. Their mid and backs help with that a lot. But the fact, quality-wise, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Quality-wise, I just think, Arsenal is just leagues ahead of them. So with that being said, I definitely did want to see more of a solid win from Arsenal. I think that Trossard is on a rip, on a tear right now. I think he's going to be a big factor this game coming up. But the fact that as an Arsenal fan, I would be a little concerned in the sense of, like, why are we going to pins? Why are pins even a thing?
And I think that has to go back to just Raya's game ability. Like, he's a knockout keeper in the pens, but he just didn't look that solid during the game to me. Like, he let in some waffles.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean that, and but see, I also think about it like this though. From Arsenal's point of view, dude, they've got to come out strong. They have to start. Bayern, they're not going to let up.
We're not.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't the same Bayern team, but as soon as you sleep on that team, we're gonna fucking pop you. We're gonna pop you good.
Well, it sure as hell is in Porto. I know that.
You saw it with Lazio, bro. They parked our bus a little bit, but didn't take advantage of opportunities that they got. And we've been pretty man down this season. We've had, if you go to the roster, we've got, Upamecano might as well just not be on the team in Champions League, because every Champions League game I've watched of him, he, last year he gave Haaland 3 goals that were absolutely just goof up goals. But we've got some solid defensemen. We've got Kim has been playing lights out. De Ligt is back in form. Davies, this is probably his last run with us, so he's going to want to end on a win. Bouna Sarr's coming back healthy, although he doesn't really play, but it's on that right side. Guerrero can hold it down. Sasha Bowie's going to be amazing for us. He's coming back off injury, so we're getting back healthy, but we've been out consistently with guys this year. Gnabry's been out most of the year. Sané's been a little banged up and overused. Davies was out for a little bit. Neuer came back late. And then just, management hasn't been the greatest. Leimer and Goretzka don't really get the playing time they deserve. But you got to respect a team that can run Musiala or Muller at cam and just absolutely
major.
Your team. Coman's coming back, Gnabry's back, so we've got a strong attacking bench. I think the only thing that hampers us is sometimes Neuer gets a little gaffy, and then the defense just depends on the formation. Because if Tuchel tries to run a 3-man back with Upamecano in the middle, it's just not going to work.
Well, if it comes down to single, like if I'm looking at individual players that are going, I think, to have a bigger effect on. You mentioned one of them, dude. Musiala is on a tear. He's doing it. He's doing it very, very well.
See, that's the thing is he's not even scoring that much this year. He's just facilitating.
His play is so good though.
You have to respect the ability on him, because as soon as you let a guy like him get in and unnoticed, he's gonna bite you. And I think that's the power that's been allowing Kane to score so much this year. Is you've got to, like, yeah, you can say let's knock off Kane and they're not going to score, which has happened in some games. But if you lock down and you're focusing on Kane, you still got to worry about Gnabry and Sané on that right wing. You got to worry about Coman if he's back and healthy by this time, feeding balls in. Goretzka's been on a banger. De Ligt, Guerrero, Bowie, and Davies are all offensive-minded defensemen. There's just a lot of weapons, and I think that's what Bayern has the advantage of in Champions League. Is we've always had very deep squads where it's like,
you guys are definitely deep for sure.
You can lock down a guy like Sané on the right wing the whole game, but if you're not subbing that guy out, we put Gnabry in at right wing at like 70th minute, he's gonna hurt you, and he's fresh, he's off the bench, and he's hungry. So, that being said, I think we go into decisions here.
Yeah, I think. I mean, for me, as much, I think here's the thing, Arsenal. It's fun to see the team here, right? Yeah. It's like I just said, it's good to see them here. It's good to see a real EPL team representing is good. But I mean, dude, Bayern is just I think that they have some games to make up for in Bundesliga. Yeah. And I think it's going to come out in this game. I think that Bayern is going to definitively win both matchups. I just don't see Arsenal may have a chance here and there. The thing is that where Arsenal can get one in, for every one that Arsenal put in, Bayern's going to get 2 to 3, and I think that's the difference. I mean, if there is one player, I don't think it's talked about enough on Arsenal that could make a really big difference in this game, offensively and tactically, just as a positioning and the way he can feed the ball in. It's, for me, just watching him play, it's Martin Odegaard. I think if Odegaard can get loose and he can, because he's so creative. That's the thing about Odegaard. He's a great passer, he's a great finisher, but his ability to make something out of absolutely nothing, I think that's why he's been a freak since he was 17 years old. He's just a creative kid.
I liken him to a younger, a little bit poorer man's Toni Kroos.
Yeah, I think he's Toni Kroos with some speed. If anything, I mean, he can move around, he can dribble around. So, but I mean, we'll see. Ultimately, like I'd love to see Arsenal do something different. And this is coming from a Man U fan, but I just think I think at the end of the day, Bayern they have more to play for. They've spent more money in the offseason in the right places, and I think that Thomas Tuchel, as much as I think he's got something to play for himself.
Yeah, maybe him ever having a job again.
I mean, that's not even a joke, dude, because it's one of those things where you just look at PSG and then you look at this and you go, okay, well, when's it going to stop? Yeah. I think it's definitely going to be him playing for stuff. I think a lot of the players on Bayern want I mean, you're talking about 3-0 to Lazio. That's a pretty good last game, but
I mean, Coman's going to be hungry. Coman has yet to pass a single season in his entire Bayern career where he has not won at least one trophy. So I think he's going to really want to push this team, and I'm hoping he's back healthy. They're saying April. It doesn't look great, but I mean, even then, you've got guys. The guys on this team want to get Kane a trophy. So,
yeah, it's true.
I am a little bit more critical of my team in the stack that just knowing how we operate and how we have operated this team, I'm really worried about this game. If we got Dortmund, if we got Barca, if we got Atletico, I probably wouldn't even watch the game. I'll be real with you. That would just be a wash for me. But Arsenal's is a dark horse team, and I think if they get past Bayern, they have a chance to take it to the championship. But the thing for me is I think that this is going to be pretty close of a game, or it's going to be a blowout. And I have a bad feeling that if Arsenal gets off to a good start, see, that's the thing, is like whoever comes out to a good start, either of these teams are good enough to come back and fight the second game and win it. I could easily see this going 2-0 Arsenal and then just a roar back second game by Bayern, or I could see Bayern just absolutely beating the brakes off of this team. It's This, I think, is the closest matchup we're going to see in terms of maybe not skill is the right word, but just ability to perform at a high level consistently across 2 games, 2 weeks. Because you've got to look at it this way too, is yeah, you've got your Real Madrid and Man City, but neither of those teams are really like dying to fight to win their league. Whereas like Bayern, we got to give it hell to the end of the season to catch Leverkusen. Arsenal's trying to get back up. So I think both those teams are going to be a little battle worn coming into this, battle worn the weeks of, because, you know, I mean, Bayern's got a little bit easier of a schedule, but Arsenal doesn't really have that great of a schedule coming up, and they've got to fight for every point. I think this one's probably going to be the closest one. Obviously, being a Bayern fan, I've got to give our boys the lead and say that we'll win this. But I would not be surprised if Arsenal beats Bayern. That's my take. Bold takes.
Coming from a person who's for real. I mean, coming from a person who, again, is completely out of the loop when it comes to like what's going on in the league right now, and just going over the highlights of the previous matches, I do see a much more dominant performance from Bayern. Like with Arsenal, I know last year they were really coming up in their own league, but they just kind of like really struggled towards the end.
Arsenal's a lot like Borussia Dortmund.
Mm-hmm.
They'll play killer ball all season, but then, you know, they just, once the train's off the tracks.
Right.
Well, I think, and that's in this case, that's, again, we go back to depth, right? So over the course of 90, let's say, and then both this game, I think we're talking about games and which ones have the chances of most what. This game, I think, has the biggest chance to end in pens. Honestly, I think this has the best chance to go to pens. And I think when you look at the pen shooters that we're talking about here, I mean, Bayern is far and away outclassing Arsenal as far as just pen shooting. I mean, not just the German culture. Yeah, I was gonna say not just the German culture that stands behind penalties being the bread and butter of what they do, but I'm talking about you. I mean, look, it's from Kane down. There are people that's what they do. This is what they do. They score pins.
And let me interject some stats here. So across 8 games, Bayern has won 6, Arsenal has won 5. Bayern has drawn 1, Arsenal has drawn 1. Bayern has lost 1, Arsenal has lost 2. That speaks to quality, but also they were in different groups. I think Arsenal had a little bit harder of a group overall than Bayern did, because we had a weak United, we had Copenhagen, and what was the other team? Feyenoord.
Yeah, throw a week in there. He had to say weak.
Well,
dude.
it's not a week. It's I don't think that Ten Hag has managed that.
They were terrible. They were terrible.
They were bad.
They were not good.
Arsenal does have the edge on goals by 2. They have been putting in goals, but again, they have been playing some,
subpar
not amazing defense teams, right? So, you go into a game with a team like Manchester United, who know they're probably not going to beat Bayern, but they're gonna dig in on defense. So you can tell me if I'm wrong.
I mean, the last game was 1-0, dude. The last game that we played was 1-0. So.
It was also Bayern.
It was a late goal too.
Yeah. Let me go. So inside the area goals, Bayern has 14, Arsenal has 14. So they're pretty matched in close area. Outside the area, Arsenal has been putting away goals. They've got 3, we've got 1. Arsenal has scored a penalty. We have scored a penalty. So in terms of goals and stuff, they're across the board. Now, the interesting stat here is attempts. Bayern has had 122 attempts, 36 of which have been on target, 49 not on target, and 37 blocked. Arsenal has had 105, 36, 44, and 25. So they're not too far off. Bayern's got the edge in that, and that I think just goes down to the critical attack style that Bayern plays. They play like a blitzkrieg attack. Like you'll be shooting the ball in our net. Next thing you know, Kane's halfway down the field and Musiala's booking it, or Davies is booking it down the field, and we'll put one in the back of your net. If we go to,
let's if we look at the one thing I don't think we've talked about yet, experience. Dude, Bayern knows this stuff. Like Kane knows this. It's not even like, as bad as Tottenham has been over the years. They've played in Champions Leagues pretty regularly. Yeah. So it's like, he knows the atmosphere. The first game is it's going to be at Arsenal, so that's a big thing. But
the other thing too, Bayern has a match ban on away fans, so that's going to be a big.
I didn't know that at all.
Yeah, there were some firecrackers snuck into the stadium during the last game, and we accepted a match ban for away fans. Which, I mean, it's never really hurt us.
That's kind of crazy.
But it is. I mean, if you're talking about, the atmosphere, and going to what you said with experience, the one big standout for Arsenal is that lack of experience and that lack of like tenured guys compared to Bayern. If we go into the disciplinary for these for this Champions League, Arsenal has committed 103 fouls with 11 yellow cards
throughout the whole season,
throughout the group stage and knockouts.
Oh, okay.
Bayern has committed 79 fouls with 9 yellow cards.
That's experience, man.
Upamecano got a red card, but we don't need to delve into that because it's Upamecano. But I think like Will said, it comes down to experience between these teams as well. It's going to be like I said, this is if you don't know anything about Champions League and you're looking for some high octane close games, or if you want a blowout game, I think you got 2 options in this tournament. I think it's Bayern Arsenal, and then Man City Real Madrid, just talent wise.
I'm excited to talk about that one. That's gonna be a good one.
For sure. Yeah. No, I'm
Marcel,
looking
I don't know
forward
if you
to
have anything else to state on this.
I think this is the last piece of information just coming in from someone who, again, doesn't know. Do these next 3 games that they have to play have any kind of weight on to when they do end up meeting each other? Because they got 3 games coming in. Are they going to put like any of their?
Yeah. So yes. So for Arsenal, 1,000,000,000% yes. We're talking about we're talking about their own leagues. Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah, that's where I'm.
Yeah, because they got 3 games that I'm seeing right now on their matches. Mm-hmm. They had the Chelsea game, but it got postponed. I don't know until when. Then they got Man City on the 31st, and then Luton Town on the 3rd.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. So that's another thing too that we have to look at, dude, and that's why I'm partially excited to talk about the Real game, is because, I mean, we'll get to that when we get to that, but as far as the Arsenal deal, dude, the EPL is locked up right now. It's absolutely locked. It's the best I've seen the EPL in a while. And it's as far as just like neck to neck kind of chase. I mean, my thing is, dude, is like Enrique has been saying this from the beginning. A coworker of ours, Enrique, has been saying this in the beginning of the season. Liverpool's going to get it. And then you hear about Klopp leaving, and it's like, holy crap, they actually might get it. They have something to play for.
Wow.
And I think now, man, is that I'm really glad you brought that up, dude, because it's one of those things where if we're looking at the next 3. That City game is absolutely. They have to win that game, dude. They have to win that game. There's not an option. I mean, for considering, because look at Liverpool. Liverpool, the next 3 games, we're talking about a postponement against Everton, but they have Brighton, who's not a sleeper. They've got us on. I'm sorry, they get Sheffield on the 4th, which whatever, and then they've got United on the 7th, which they're gonna win anyway. So they're gonna win those next 3 games.
Oh yeah. And if they don't, they're going to be hurting, and they're going to be looking to put some pain out.
Yeah, and so I think a lot of, I mean, it's kind of weird how you're saying one league's going to affect the other league or whatever else, but I really do think that like what happens in the EPL over the course of the next 3 match plays is going to affect how Arsenal goes into this, because if Arsenal loses 2 out of these 3 games, they're not even in the running anymore. Yeah. And so is it like we're going in beat up and defeated, or are we going to go in saying, fuck it, dude, let's go. Let's let the horses loose and let's just send it all on this game, So that's fun to see.
And for the Bayern side, we're in a position I think we're 10 points back from first place. The next team, let me pull up the standings here real quick. The next team is Stuttgart under us. They're 4 points behind. So the rest of the season for us is do or die, realistically. If we go back to having more than 10 points against Leverkusen, they don't lose. They don't fucking lose. They've been dominating Europa League. They almost lost to some nobody team from like Slavic country in Europa League. But they scored 2 minutes, 2 goals in stoppage from Peter Schick. They are getting it done. They want to win for Xavi. Xavi wants to win because he's going to get that fucking bread next season wherever he goes or stays.
Right.
But Bayern's next 3, some of it's a cakewalk, but as you've seen with Bayern this season, we've lost it. We tied Freiburg recently. We lost to Bochum. We lost to Leverkusen. We almost lost to Augsburg. So we've got 2 stinkers in teams coming up in Darmstadt and Heidenheim, which, yes, we're heavy favorites, but at the same time, a team like that, the modum operandi in Bundesliga right now is let's kick Bayern while they're down, because we've run the league for 11 years. We've got Darmstadt, then Dortmund, so we've got the derby, and then we've got Heidenheim. If we lose to Dortmund, that's the thing is, we can win out all 3 of these games, be chill, come in there and just want to win. But I guarantee this team's going to be really, really furious if we drop points in these 3 matches. And as you've seen, when Bayern drops and Bayern's hurt and Bayern's angry, ask Barcelona what happens. Ask Barcelona what happens in the round of 16. So I think it could go either way. It could just fall off the train tracks for us. It could be good. It could be bad. But either way, we're coming into this Champions League. We won a trophy this year, and we're going to be gunning for it. And they're going to give it all. And, I mean, you heard Mueller when he called out Havertz. He said, Havertz, we're waiting. So.
Okay. So, based off that first game or that first round, Arsenal Bayern, what are you guys going for to take that first round?
Will, I'll let you go first here.
Yeah, like I said before, I just think it's going to come down to depth.
Who's the edge? You got to give an edge to someone.
I'm definitely going to go with Bayern. I mean, like I said, man, they just have the depth. They have the experience. I think they're going to have, if it comes to pins, they've got pins on lock,
Easy.
The defensive woes that I was talking about at the beginning. I mean, after looking at it, man, Upamecano, as much as whatever the issues that he's had this season, dude, he's a world-class player. He has the ability to bounce back and play his position well. And I'm not just, Bayern for sure. I've got Bayern with the dub on both games, actually. I've got them on both games. I think they're going to win definitively and sweep Arsenal. Yeah.
Right, I got you. Matt, what's your prediction?
So for me, I'm leaning, I think Bayern's going to get the edge here, just based again off that experience. We've been here, we've been in these positions, we've done it, we've come back. Like, you can go 3-0 up on us, we'll score 6 the next game. I think having Allianz Arena be the second game for us is a definite boost, because if we go and get our wounds kicked in London, we're going to come back in Munchen and we're going to kick some ass. I see this going either a complete blowout Bayern's way, or we'll have a situation where it's aggregate and we'll share the games, but it'll be down to goals or pens.
With ultimately Bayern taking.
Bayern, I think Bayern's going to win. I would be pleasantly surprised and happy to see Arsenal win.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I'm not going to bet against my boys.
Would you be happy though? Would you be happy?
I don't think you'd be happy.
I would be happy to see Arsenal win. I've enjoyed watching Arsenal play in the Premier League. I've enjoyed watching them succeed finally after so long. I grew up not really having a team in Premier League, so I just liked players, and Thierry Henry, I loved watching him play at Arsenal. I would like to see the Gunners do something well for themselves and not have it be City winning everything again. So I'd be upset for sure if Bayern loses, but
you'd be kind of like rooting for them to win.
If go out to a well, no, I'm going to go to my second team at Real Madrid if they lose. But
oh god,
I would like to see Arsenal go to a Champions League final. I could easily get behind and root for a team like that. It's not like a situation where if we go out to a team like Atletico, I'd just be like, I can't believe we just fucking lost to Atletico.
Yeah, that's true.
Which has happened a lot this league. We got beat by Saarbrücken in the DFB Pokal. It's a third league team. But then they wiped the next 2 games in the schedule too. So, I mean, they're on a tear. So I can't be mad at them. I'm mad at us. But, yeah, I think Bayern gets to win here.
Cool. All right. Sounds good to me. All right. Next matchup on the list right here, quarterfinal 2, we got Atletico de Madrid and Borussia Dortmund. Boys, again, I have no idea, but I've been told that Dortmund this season has been.
Welcome to the Caca Fest.
Welcome.
I think out of the two, I mean, listen. Again, I've already stated it. I'm an Atleti fan. It's been my Spanish team forever. So I'm gonna lean Atleti just out of bias. But if we're looking at on paper, man, this also has the ability to be a close game for the opposite reason as the last game. I think it's because, on paper, like, okay, let's look at the squads, right? So if we're looking at Atleti, right?
So Atleti, they've got Oblak in goal. I don't think anybody else is touching the field for them. Defenders, you've obviously got, I don't know, Marcel, if you can pull them up.
I got you. Yeah, go ahead.
They've got Jimenez in there. They've got Cesar. They've got Gabriel, Savic, Molina, Hermoso.
Yeah.
They are, I would say on paper, they're number 2 in La Liga in terms of talent on the team, just from what I'm seeing so far. They've got Rigo de Paul. They've got Koke. I know they want to get Koke a championship. I know they want to get Koke a trophy. And they've come close. And I mean, they got Lamar's coming off the bench. Llorente, Riquelme.
Again,
Barrios.
If this comes back to that one thing that I don't think is attributed enough or talked about enough when it comes to this stuff, it's experience, bro. Atleti. The last time that Atleti went to the finals, Koke was playing for him. So, and Saul, I think, would just joined after, or he had just gotten there. Yeah. So I mean, like in between that, Depay, Morata's been there multiple times. Like Witzel. Yeah. I mean, they have Llorente, Marcus Llorente. They have experience
behind the helm. He's a good coach. People like to knock on Simeone, but he is a tactical coach.
No, Simeone for me. Everyone talks about Pep having the ability to change a game. Simeone has thrown chairs across the damn field, bro. Like the dude is passionate and he's able to fire his players up. Is Griezmann out? Griezmann's out.
Griezmann is out. Yes, he played all 8, but I think he picked up a knock in La Liga.
That's huge. That's a big deal right there. If Griezmann is
their goals.
Yeah, no, dude, Griezmann's a big contributor. I think that with the lack of that too, that's going to be a big thing. Now, my thing is though, like, we're looking at the other side. All right, so like if we were to look at Borussia,
Doofman, let's address them correctly, Doofman.
Okay, we'll do that. I think that again, it's like we're looking at a team that I think that's gotten there. If I'm looking, I'm looking at this correctly. PSV was who they had to get through this last stage.
Let me pull that up real quick for you.
Right, didn't really PSV. Have a lot of competition. Now here's my thing. Now if we're to go back all the way to November. Right. If we were to go all the way back to like match day 5, I mean, we're talking about beating Milan 3-1. That's a big deal.
Well, it's not the same Milan we're accustomed to, too.
It's not. It's not. But I mean, we're all talking about, Pulisic is still playing there, and they still got, they still have Rafael Leao, and they have talent.
Here's what I will say. Dortmund has bodied that. They bodied their group stage. They had Paris Saint-Germain, they had Newcastle and Milan. I think you're right there. But you also cannot knock Atletico in Group E. They got past Feyenoord and they got past
Inter as well.
Yeah, they did get past Inter last round, and Inter has been cracking in Serie A.
They've been good. So here's my thing. So like, if I'm 2 weeks ago, this is the same team that tied with PSV, my boys. This is the same team. This is the same team that just tied with PSV, and don't get me wrong, Dutch football it's hard to play. It's hard to play in PSV. It's hard to play in Ajax. It's in loud places. It's they have a huge fan base.
They're crazy.
But there's no way that the thing about Dortmund is, bro, they're so inconsistent. Like you have these amazing performances where they come out and they really, they show the Bundesliga, look, we're like, be scared. But then you turn around and you tie PSV. Yep. Okay, you come back. Obviously, the aggregates, they win. They did 2-0 that last game. Yep. That's what they should have done both games, in my opinion.
And if you look at their group stage, they scored 7 goals.
Yeah.
7.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
they don't. Yeah.
did they really? They bodied that group, but it was a gutsy.
Dude, Füllkrug is not the guy. He's not the guy.
Thank you for saying that. As a Germany fan,
Yeah.
he really has capitalized on his appearance and his ability to score a couple chief goals for the German national club. But I don't understand how you start this man over Moukoko, Sancho, Haller, or even Adeyemi. Adeyemi outpaces Füllkrug.
I like
20
Haller.
to 1. 20
I
to
like
1.
Haller a lot. Yeah.
Haller's
Well,
good. Yeah, go ahead.
And so that's the thing too, is like, so we're talking about, like, okay, that's great. They have a target guy, obviously, big man, slow. This guy's the German Peter Crouch. But my thing about it is that you also have to look at who's feeding him.
I was just gonna say, look.
You know what I mean? That's the one thing I'm looking at it.
Because
right.
if we're comparing like Koke and those guys to Marco Reus, who Marco Reus has been a ghost.
Reus is out
a decade now, and yeah, he's out now. Emre Can is okay, but he's not speeding past anybody. Sabitzer is probably Sabitzer and Brandt are the only 2 worthwhile midfielders that they've got. Nemecha's good, but he's mostly speed. So, like you're saying, with that midfield, the facility, like it's you could have Haaland up front, but if you don't got the guys to feed the ball to him, he's not going to tap the ball in.
No, and again, we're also talking about, Atletico has a solid defense. Their midfield plays defensive minded. Koke is always sitting back, and Saul is definitely, this man is a freak in the middle of that 18-yard box. He just sits there, and so they have. I mean, for Füllkrug, for that, if they're gonna work the plan they usually work, which is feed Füllkrug, or have him in the position, or at least have him pull 2 or 3 defenders towards him, so that Malin or in one of those, Brandt or some one of those guys, can sneak one in, then that may work for them. But I mean, defensively, I will say Dortmund is sound. Dortmund, I think on paper, out of these 2 teams, Dortmund's gonna have the better defense. And they have the experience. I mean, like Hummels has been to the freaking, I don't even know how many Champions League he has. A million.
Hummels got carried at Bayern, I'm going to say. Like, I have a lot of respect for Hummels, but it was never, I mean, you're playing with Philipp Lahm and Boateng.
Yeah,
You've got Muller, Schweinsteiger, like Podolski, bro. Come on. Like, Mats Hummels is the typical, like, right, he's a Füllkrug. He rides off of the achievements of those around him. Yes, he's a core nucleus guy. Yes, he can make some big plays, but we're not going to be sitting here talking about after round 1, after first leg, wow, did you see what Mats Hummels did in that game?
Yeah, I just don't see that being a thing.
And that, again, it's coming from a Bayern guy, and it's coming from a Germany fan.
Yeah, I don't foresee them having the gall. So, I mean, my thing is that, like I said, like, Matt said earlier, I think that Simeone he's gonna talk to these dudes. He's gonna put it in their head. And Atleti has always, I mean, dude, since the Torres days, bro, Atleti has always been they've always had fight. That's the thing about them, is that they've always been not necessarily a scrappier team. Yeah, I would say, like, not necessarily like scrappy, but like they have the ability to like turn it on when they freaking need to. And some of these goals they score are weird looking and they're strange, but they're goals, dude. And I think out of the 2 teams, I think that they have a little leg up.
Yeah, I was briefly looking at their stats while you were talking. They're not too far off from each other, but again, you got to look at quality as well as the quantity. I think Atletico has definitely got an offensive edge here, but I could see that's the thing, is I could see Dortmund parking the absolute shit out of the bus and then just getting that one counterattack that they need, because that's what they did in group stage. They held everybody down. They swarmed Mbappe. And they just got lucky goals off. They're a gritty, grindy team. And like you were saying, even in Bundesliga, it's a team that everybody likes to shit on and everybody likes to talk bad about. But when you're not expecting it, they can really just counter and get you.
And both these teams are they're cooked in their own league. You know what I mean? Dortmund's 20 points back, I think.
Dortmund is in the further, like, objects in the year look closer than they are unless you're Dortmund.
Yeah, they're fighting for Europa right now, and in which they'll get. They're clear. They're well clear of Eintracht, but they'll get that. They'll get that spot. They're 7 points clear.
Yeah, but that part of the table, and we saw this a lot last year. You saw a team like Stuttgart come up the table real quick the last 10 games. You saw teams.
Well, I mean, and they also have Bayern on the 30th. So, but I don't think they're playing for much in the league. And the same thing with
They're 20 points back off of the first. They're not getting right. I mean, they're maybe fighting for Champions League for next season, but I don't see Stuttgart slipping up that much. Leipzig might, but even then, like if a Leipzig drops points, and I could easily just see Eintracht Frankfurt rolling it in here. They're on a tear. They've drawn 3. They won their last 2. Dortmund has win, draw, loss, win. So a lot of these bottom tier teams are the teams facing the top teams now towards the end of the season. But majority of those teams are facing the Bayerns, the Leverkusen, the Stuttgarts. So they've got some middle table games coming up here. Dortmund does, and yeah, I mean, we could talk about Bundesliga for a week. So
no, that's. I mean, looking at the La Liga, I think Atleti is 13 back right now. They're 13 or 14 back, I believe. So I mean, Atleti isn't over here, punching for first. They're not reaching for too much. They don't have much to play in their own league. So I mean, that could make it for a better game. I mean, both these guys might say
Atleti's in 4th, but they're 14 points.
14, yeah, and I mean, and Real's not slowing down. So it's one of those things where
Barcelona could drop games, but they're not gonna get past. And here's the thing: is I don't know if Atleti plays Girona, but Girona's on a fucking tear this season, so they're not gonna.
Yeah, they're going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. I mean, I you guys just went into it. Honest with you, I'm over here trying to keep up with you guys, but you guys have made valid points. From what I was listening to you guys and hearing you guys out. Again, if it was up to me, picking just based off of face value, seeing their previous scores and seeing their previous stats and everything, I'm giving the edge to Atletico Madrid. I think they can overall take Dortmund if they put the pressure on them. From the get-go, from the first game.
Yep.
Yeah.
And if they come out and crack them good, then Dortmund's just going to be like, all right, fuck it, season's over.
Pretty much, yeah. And I don't see them... I can potentially see Dortmund doing something, but not as realistic as Arsenal overtaking Bayern or something like that.
Here's the thing, too, you got to realize is, Atletico, if they win this game, they have a chance to beat either of those other two teams. Dortmund has no fucking chance in hell of getting out of...
Against PSG or Barca?
They have no fucking chance. Even as shit as Barca played... Barca will walk circles around a team like Dortmund. Whereas every matchup that I've seen Barca and Atleti play this season have been grind fests.
Okay. So we're all are we all in agreement that
I think we're all giving Atletico
I think Atleti is going to get out of there not comfortably but I think that they're going to get out of there with the win. Again, Atleti style, bro. That's how it is with Atleti, man. They're never it's 1-0, it's maybe aggregate going to pins, but I'll put it this way: this out of the 4 games, or out of the 4 sets I see left, this is probably the least likely that I would bet on.
Yeah, I with confidence. I
can't bet on this game because it's like we talked about before. Yes, it's close, but it's close for a different reason.
Yeah,
and I just can't foresee a definitive outcome coming out here. Again, the edge goes to Atleti because of certain reasons, but I think it's going to be a low-scoring scrap.
Mm-hmm. And I think the reason that they're kind of tickling around here is Atletico is not a high-scoring team, but it's because of the way they play. They choose to not be a high-scoring team.
Yeah, and there's no Griezmann, dude. I mean, that's huge.
If they had Griezmann, I think they blow past.
Yeah, no, this would be a different. We'd be talking about something completely different.
We'd be talking about PSG Barcelona already.
But we're talking about Morata at the front. It's like, all right, you know what I mean? Like,
I'm not sure how this goes down.
Morata has also Morata and Griezmann are neck and neck in champions, but
yeah.
Okay. Cool.
So,
all right. Atleti for the win for that first round. Next game, quarterfinal 3, we got Real Madrid and Man City. Boys, we're getting in deep right now.
Real quick.
All right.
Yeah, boys, got to take a little tinkle break real quick before we get into this because I'm gonna be sitting down for a second. So, Matt, you have a golden voice, by the way. You have a radio voice.
I've been told that by so many people, bro. You're not.
Yeah, you need to be on the radio.
Chick-fil-A, no, even in person, man. Chick-fil-A is so many grandmas. Like, oh my god, you have a sexy voice. I'm like, huh?
My pleasure.
Welcome back to KB Radio Live.
Your pleasure.
Like, by the way, Will, so far, bro, you've been great having on the fucking podcast. Like, I'm out there. You fucking pointing in so many great facts. I'm actually learning a lot between
Matt and I have been talking about this stuff forever, and it's like he said this the Star Wars bit. I was like, I don't know if I can get into Star Wars, and then he said we were like, hey, let's talk about football. I'm like, bro, let's fucking go in. I love like I said, I haven't been watching every single. I'm a self-admitted highlights watcher.
Yep.
I will say this: I haven't watched every game, but I've watched every single game highlights.
Yep.
And so then it's in between just working, not having time to watch it, not wanting to watch it, or something like that.
No, I mean, there's no time, bro. Not anymore, at least.
So much crap going on in the world right now, guys. The world is getting hotter.
Global warming. My anus is contributing to that.
I love when people argue that shit because it's like, if that's what you're gonna argue, okay, cool. What happened with the Ice Age? Who was driving around cars that made all the global?
Yo, bro, here's my thing. If it's happening, ultimately, look at this. What the fuck are we gonna do about it?
Yeah, what are we gonna send? Are we gonna send
what
fucking?
What am I gonna do about it, dude?
To raise the bar back up? Like,
I ain't tripping over some shit I can't control.
Like we had 20. We were in 20+ years of like, hey, we can't do shit. Y'all kept telling me to go to school. I couldn't do shit anything else. You know. Yeah. We're cooked. We're cooked. And if a couple of years, we're cooked.
Bro, all we gotta do is get a couple of scientists to AI a pathway to Mars, and then AI how to terraform it.
Yo, I know this is kind of like randomly tangent. Do y'all see that video about BMW and the robot?
No.
The factory one that was walking around?
Not even walking around, just fucking completely talking like a normal human.
Yeah.
Bro, did you see the one robot that grabbed Phil's ass?
Bro, we're years
all the time. Yes,
we're years off from having sentient AI that functions on a long-term ability. AI can't even write fucking good code still.
They can make a pretty decent logo.
People are AI is very limited because AI doesn't have, like you just said, a sentient ability.
They don't have.
It's not as scary as everybody fucking thinks it is, dude.
They're only finding it scary because it's new, and it's the same shit with everything.
It's very controlled. It's very controlled. It has procedures. It has backdoors and codes, just like everything else that's digital and stored in some sort of memory capacity has.
It's all
so it has the ability to be controlled. Yeah, and if it acts up, guess what we do? We say, "Fucking no, stop it,
stop it! I don't give you consent to kill."
You're done.
Yeah. No, stranger.
Yeah, even here's the thing is even if robots were to become sentient and overthrow governments and start functioning on themselves, we still got weapons. Shoot them.
And guess what?
EMP
what am I going to do about it?
Exactly. It's that fucking global warming all over again.
And it's like all these problems.
Here's the thing, right? Everybody's worried about AI this, AI that, blah, 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 blah. At the end of the day, we're gonna get killed by something before a robot.
Bro,
and listen to me. It doesn't matter because I can't control it. I'm not gonna
only AI
worrying about shit if I can't control it.
The only AI we need to be worried about is Allen Iverson getting back in shape and joining the fucking NBA again, baby. That's what I'm talking about.
Sign him up for the Wizards, man. He'd still be able to ball, but better than half of them.
Half of them, for sure, bro. Now, I want to see us in the conference finals or something like that, man. Yes. Fuck, man.
Now you guys watch NBA, bro. I'm a Celtics fan, and thank God, I actually feel good. We do good every fucking year. It's great, whatever. But I feel actually shut up. I feel positive. I feel positive.
Will, talk your shit, bro. Talk your shit, boy.
Why are you gay?
Listen here, bud. No.
He's a fan of a Denver Broncos. Sorry.
Are you a Denver Broncos fan?
No, he just likes to say that.
It's the truth, man.
No, he is.
All right.
What's your? Oh no, all right.
But
Dolphins, and everybody wants to say bandwagon this, bandwagon that. I have pictures of myself as a toddler in a Ricky Williams jersey. Ricky Williams was my hero growing up until my dad told me I couldn't be my hero because he's a pothead.
You're a Dolphins fan? That's fine. I know a lot of Dolphins fans.
We've sucked. And like everybody's like, oh, what?
Dude, I'm a fucking Patriots fan. What the fuck are you talking about, dog? I'm over here like we just left the Brady era and now we're getting
This is all being recorded, by the way.
So anyway, before I was fucking rudely interrupted.
For real.
We're getting bent over, dude. We're getting bent over. We need to come. We need to fucking shoot a load all over the league this year. God, that's gross. We need to shoot a load.
I don't know. That's what she said. I don't know if he's meant Nolan, but we need to introduce him, bro. They'll like be like butt brothers or something.
No, they wouldn't, because Nolan's got like fucking Asperger's and Will's an asshole. So.
No, I'm acoustic as well.
Acoustic.
You stupid nigga.
I have asparagus. I have asparagus.
I have asparagus. All right. Read it. Fuck you. All right, ready to lock in again?
It's so weird. I literally just looked. I just looked at my rifle in the closet, and you fucking made that, and I was like,
what's going on here?
I was like, they know
something.
I'm gonna come.
Exactly.
Oh God, I'm gonna take that soundboard away from you.
You see what I'm saying, man? Like,
no.
God,
Matt, shut the fuck up. We're trying to get back into the fucking recording.
We were like a drunk girl.
Honestly, man, has no fucking self control.
All right. That was nice.
All right, cut it. All right, we're going back in live in 3, 2, 1. All right, guys, we're going back in quarterfinale number 3. Real Madrid against the defending champions, Man City. What do you guys have to say about this matchup?
Fuck Man City.
Dude, I mean,
the cover FC 24, man. What are you talking about?
I'm coming out biased. I'm coming out hot.
Okay.
I'm telling you right now that I don't know who the fuck's gonna win this game. I do think
they're gonna win.
It's gonna be. I think it's gonna be the Denver Patriots. They're gonna take the dub on this.
The Denver Patriots. Yes.
I think New Orleans Broncos will definitely have a
they're in there. Yeah. No, I do though. I think that. I mean, bro. Here's the thing though, is that right now, yeah, Girona's on a tear. But Real ain't stopping down. They ain't slowing. The bus is rolling, bro. They're gonna cruise. They're taking. They're gonna win their league. Everything's comfortable, I think, in the Real Madrid camp.
All for is this game,
dude. That's what I'm kind of looking at it as, because on paper, obviously Haaland's a freak. He has the ability to cherry pick and sit at the front of the freaking goal and wait for a ball to come in and touch it in. But he also, you know what I'm saying. But it's going to come down to the fact, I think, that, dude, Pep is going to be so fucking focused on these next few games because they need the points, bro. They have to get these points. They are one behind in this league right now. Yeah. They are fighting against two.
Liverpool's on top?
No, Arsenal. Well, yeah, technically they're 64 each. So, but I mean, I think for goals, it's Arsenal. So Arsenal's technically in first. So, like,
Get
Arsenal.
That ugly shit off the screen. Get that ugly shit off the screen.
Hey, take it out. Take it out of here.
Are we looking at the players or something?
No. Wait, no. We got to. No, but I mean, yeah, dude. Like, if we're looking at you know at on the field, performance wise, it's neck and neck, dude. It's neck and neck.
Either way.
It could go absolutely either way in this match, but I just think that, again, I don't know why because we have to look at league play. We can't ignore the league play. We can't say if this was a perfect world and there was no games until April 9th and all these teams had a chance to focus on these games, we would be talking completely different. But dude, like Man City, they're gonna win or lose the league in the next 3 games.
Yeah, they got a serious lineup right now.
Yeah, and they got Liverpool. They got Liverpool, I believe, right?
No, they played. No, they played them last week.
Oh, that's right. They tied last week.
They tied last week. Yeah. Right. Mm-hmm. They're playing Newcastle next.
Okay.
The Brighton game got postponed. Then they go Arsenal on the 31st and Aston Villa on the 3rd.
Dude, I'm telling you right now, that Arsenal game is gonna, I think, say a lot about how they go into this Real Madrid game.
Oh, for sure.
Huge right there, because it's the league is so tight on the English side. Real is screaming. I think they're gonna get that win easy. So, I mean, it's a very it's a tight one.
I'm leaning more towards Real Madrid as well, and that's a little bit of bias. But if you want to pull up the roster as well here, I think overall Real Madrid is a deeper team and they're more experienced. Because
I mean,
you got 3 quality keepers there. I don't think Courtois is going to be back, but if he is, Lunin, I mean, he's already captured the starting gig. Lunin has been playing lights out for them. If you go to the defense,
the defense is serious.
Any singular player on this defense would start on Man City. Every single one of them, except for maybe go back over. I think Fran Garcia doesn't play anywhere. No, Mendy would start on City.
Oh, okay.
Mendy would start on City. But if you go into the midfield, here's where it's crucial. Look at how many Champions League trophies are in this midfield. Cruz, you've got young guy in Güler. Tchouaméni has been tearing it up for France and PSG, or he can tear it up for Real Madrid if he gets a chance. Valverde is a very good player. Camavinga plays multiple positions. Modric is healthy. He's been on the bench, so he might not be in best form, and he's losing a step. But it's still fucking Luka Modric, man. It's
Modric, bro.
Luka's there.
Toni Kroos looks like an ageless wonder on this team. He's not fast. He never has been. But he's gonna, like, if you give a step to any single one of these forwards, Kroos is going to take a toothpick and kick the ball onto the fucking toothpick.
Dude, Toni Kroos is the German Pirlo.
He's better than Pirlo, I'd say.
He can put it there.
Yeah, he puts it. I mean, like if you have an inch, he's putting it in there.
Like a Del Piero.
Yeah. If you go to the forwards, Joselu hasn't been what they've wanted, but they've got Brahim Diaz now, and he has been lights out for this Real Madrid team. On games where Vini gets locked up and the midfield gets locked up, Brahim Diaz is like a cheap man's Musiala. He's getting in there, he's finding the hole, and he'll put one in the back of your net. So I think I'm gonna give that with Ancelotti at the helm of this team. I have to give Real Madrid the tilt there. That's not to say and not to disrespect the greatness of the roster that City is. We're not going to pull that up because I don't want to look at that shit squad. I hate them. So I am biased in the terms that I hate Man City, and I've kind of got a love for Real Madrid. I've been a fan of theirs for a long time. But I just, like I said, if you go to depth, I mean, like, I think the only real position that City outclasses Real Madrid is keeper, and that's just because Ederson's better than Courtois and Lunin.
Will?
Yeah, I think one of the main
thinkers.
I'm looking at one number here, bro. One number is really catching my eye. That both of these teams, and it's relatively close, but there's a 10 number different. There's 10 numbers that change here. So I'm looking at the standings right now.
Yep.
And if you look at Man City, we've got 63 goals for, 28 against. All right, solid. It's 50-50 essentially that we're looking at right there. 63 to 28. Now, if I go over to Real Madrid, 60 goals for, 18 goals against.
Yep.
18 goals against, and obviously quality in the EPL is higher. Before anybody goes off, quality in EPL is higher. You've got more strikers, more everything else. Here's my thing though, is that La Liga has strikers. La Liga they have the ability to score, and the fact of the matter is that what you mentioned earlier, I think, is going to be a big factor in this game, which is defense, man. I think that Real Madrid has the upper hand on the defensive end. Just Rudiger alone the dude's a freaking stone wall. He's got the ability to get in and sweep your ass and get that ball from anywhere. And I don't see it going in City's way.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah, I mean, and also you have to look at like this season for Real Madrid's been completely different. I think in the sense of, I mean, with the addition of, with the addition of, I think Bellingham has been such a major. I mean, bro, he's in like without a doubt been a major part of this new squad.
I don't think a player has come into Real Madrid and changed the dynamic of the team like that since Ronaldo.
Yeah, and even with Ronaldo, I mean, like, yes, Ronaldo with his greatness and the ability to score, but Bellingham's vision at the age and bro, he has this kid he's playing chess or playing checkers. He is so ahead of the shit. He sees everything moving.
Right now, it's like a handful of players, and Bellingham and Musiala are up there. Yeah, I mean, they're just it's something that you don't see in a lot of young players nowadays. The way that they just view the game, they view the field, and they're just tactic. I mean, it's that tactical. A lot of these young guys that are doing this kind of stuff remind me of the Schweinsteigers, the Müllers, the Kloses. Very tactical, opportunistic, but they're thinking 4 fucking moves ahead of you. They're like, okay, if that ball goes there, this is what I'm doing, and then after that, I'm doing this. Whereas you got a guy that's just like, ball, go, stop. You know?
Yeah, I also think that a big deal this year that's going to be different from last year with the champions for City is no De Bruyne. You know, they're saying he's got like a new knock or whatever else, and then after everything that's happened,
I think he's done in Prem.
That's a huge deal, bro. Like De Bruyne is the heartbeat of this team when he's playing.
De Bruyne carried that team last year.
Oh, 100%, dude. 100%. I mean, the thing is, again, we go back to vision, midfield play, the ability to feed the ball. There's a reason Haaland scored as many goals as he did. It wasn't because of freaking Phil Foden or Rodri or any of those other people.
Here's the thing: is where I will say in counter of that, the counter to that argument is just Rodri has stepped up, but he's not playing the same kind of football that a guy like De Bruyne gives you.
No, De Bruyne's untouched,
well-rounded, all over player.
De Bruyne is he's gonna go down as one of the GOATs when all this stuff is done. So
I would
he's
on
a different level.
On Luka Modric level. Like,
he's on a different level, dude.
I think he's on that level.
Yeah, you look at his ability to pass and feeding that ball in. I think a lot of it's also going to depend on Phil Foden, man. I think Phil Foden's going to have to really step up, and he's really going to have to Phil Foden maybe last year, year before, where he was really like jumping into the box and stabbing into the box.
Yeah, he's kind of been on a tear lately, and even in the knockout round, he was on point. But yeah, I think we're looking at a completely different Foden. We're looking at a completely different Rodri in some aspects, because Rodri was lights out versus Bayern last year. Rodri got Man City past Bayern last year. That was the big factor there. Also, didn't help that Upamecano had a blue shirt on the whole series. But you know, your Jack Grealish and your Foden aren't as dominant in that nucleus of a team as they were last year, and I do think that has to do with they're taking on more defensive responsibility and tactical responsibility now that De Bruyne is out.
I mean, they have to set up. I think, you know, and then just off goals. I mean, Kepa's had a better season, bro. Like, you know, I think, Lunin. I think Lunen's had just a better overall season. Especially recently. I mean, he's been.
And you got to think too is he's fighting to take that job from Courtois, and I think he's done it.
Yeah,
he's done it.
Yeah. I think, and then that's another thing too about Real Madrid, man, is that Real Madrid is I mean, I don't know if it's gonna make a difference, but they're aside from obviously we talking about Modric and Cruz, they're a younger team. They have dude. You look at Vinny, and I mean, like Bellingham can pick it up, Rodri can go, yeah, like.
Even Modric still at his speed. Like when he gets on a horse, he gets on a horse.
Yeah, and I mean they still have. Why am I blanking? Canadian left back. Oh my gosh.
No, that's Davies.
No, it was. Oh my gosh, no, not Canadian. Austrian. Alaba. Jesus.
He's out.
Alaba's out. See, that's news to me.
I think he might be back in. I haven't really watched a lot of Real games lately.
Let me see.
But Alaba has been knocked up, and that's one of the reasons why they're going out for Davies. Sidebar.
Yeah. No. Sidebar for sure. The 17th. Oh, so the 17th is when it happened. That's why I didn't not paying attention to freaking that at all.
So David Alaba on December had an ACL. Militao is on ACL. Courtois was on ACL. So they had 3 ACL injuries this season. I believe Militao is close to coming back, and if he is, it's pretty lights out for Real Madrid's defense.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be realistic right now. I don't see Haaland getting past Militao and Rudiger consistently.
No, bro. Ripping Rudiger when Rudiger's on his stuff, dude. He's shut down.
He is just as good, if not better, than Boateng in his prime.
It's definitely the best. It's definitely the best matchup. I mean, without a doubt, it's the best matchup in the whole what's left. So
yeah, I would say though, I'm definitely giving. I'm gonna give it. I gotta give it to Real Madrid. I just fucking hate City, and I don't want them to win anything. Like I love Pep, but I cannot stand
pure biasm.
I cannot stand a team that consistently violates financial fair play and doesn't get punished for it.
I mean, they did. That's I've always hated City because as a United fan, I have to. And but after that didn't help. That didn't help anything.
Well,
I mean, they definitely bought a few trophies.
They fucking dinged Everton how many points, and City's just sitting here like la la la. We're paying out all of our shit. Like,
yeah,
it's the new Barca. They just throw money at any problem they have and just deal with it.
Right.
Yeah, I mean that's oil money.
Yeah. One thing I am going to go ahead and kind of put there, and I'm not sure if you guys already mentioned, but there is a difference amount of games being played between today and the day that they meet up. Man City's got 4 games to play. Madrid's got 2 games.
Man City is still in, are they not?
The FA.
They're in the FA Cup. They're in the quarterfinals. Yeah. They actually played today against Newcastle.
How'd they do there?
Mm-hmm. Huh?
No, they played
like today, Saturday. And then Madrid, I think they have like a 2-week bye. I would call it two bye weeks until they play Man City. So just looking at like that and looking at their stats,
they got knocked out of Copa del Rey.
But that gives them more time to rest. That gives them more time to practice for the game.
Yeah, it does.
Without really risking any kind of type of injury. And looking at those stats,
they don't have anything else to go for. Even the league games, they're like whatever.
Is the FA Cup that big for Man City to really put in their all stars?
It would give them another treble.
Okay. Well,
yeah, it would. But I think in this instance, I would say that it's not as important as it was last season because Pep, I think, is fighting a lot harder for the league this season than last season.
I think league takes definitely more premise over.
Yeah, always. It's going to be league over FA. I mean, it's like saying Carabao or Champions. It's like something's the clear winner there. So Pep's always been a league winner.
Who fuck cares?
Yeah. Pep's always fought for league. So
if Man City gets worn down enough in these next 4 games, I can see Madrid taking it.
I'm gonna tell you right now, if Man City has an injury in the next 3 weeks, they're fucked. They're fucked.
They don't have a lot of breathing room.
If a Foden goes down, if a Modric goes down, they're fucked.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have the depth. They just don't.
And that player that you were saying, Alaba, would this give him enough time to recover for that game?
No, dude, it's an ACL, bro.
At his age, they're just going to push it, especially with how successful they've been this season. They're not in a rush to do that, and I think Alaba's opinion is, I think he knows he's on the way out if they get Davies and Mbappe. So I think for him, he's just focusing on getting back to being 100% at his age and then making the most of what he can financially.
Next season, Real Madrid is going to win the Champions League. I don't give a shit what
if they get Davies and Mbappe and they got Güler playing.
Well, they're gonna get Mbappe.
And if Modric is gone and that opens up another spot in the midfield, it's fucking over.
No, dude, they're gonna get Mbappe. Mbappe, Vinny.
Here's the thing, the news came out today. One of Mbappe's main key requests is that Madrid purchase Ethan Mbappe from PSG. PSG has no desire to sell him, and Madrid has I saw a news article today that
why would you want Ethan Mbappe?
They are not wanting him.
Yeah, I wouldn't want Ethan Mbappe either. Not with the midfield I have. Why would I change anything in that midfield?
Well, so I mean, with that matchup, I think unanimously, or Will, did you have a different opinion on that match?
No, I definitely see it. I mean, again, it's City, right? So it's like you can't count them out ever. It's City, I get it, but right. I just think that I mean, with you informing me there's a definite difference in the amount of games. I mean, City's playing twice the amount of games.
And they're all crucial.
Right. Yeah, and they all mean something. Exactly. Well, any league game for City from here on out is going to mean something because they're not sitting in first place and they're not clear by 10 and they're not, the usual stuff you say about City. It's not happening this season. They're having to fight a little bit. And I think that Pep being the coach that he is, I mean, after last season, who knows, man? Maybe he's a different coach, but throughout Pep's career, he's had I mean, and it shows with Champions League, right? Like how many times they've been knocked out is he's shown that he's had like Champions League here or some other cup here, some other tournament here, and then league play. And he's always been a league, like, I'm going to win the league. I'm going to win the league. That's all that I feel like he's going to be focusing a lot more on that. The game plan is going to be focus on the league because they have the most important stretch of the season's coming up.
And here's the thing too with them is they don't need to win Champions League.
No.
This team is very much the same team from last year. So it's like if they win it, cool, back to back. But I don't think it's a situation like a Bayern where it's like champions or bust. Because pretty much every other team in this round of 8, this quarterfinal, is champions or bust mode.
Yeah.
Because if you look at it, Real Madrid wants to win a double because they're not winning a treble. Ancelotti wants to win this. A lot of those players want to get their final one for Kroos and Modric. And PSG, I mean, who cares if they win League One? They want to win Champions League. They haven't been able to do it. Barcelona's only hope to win a trophy is Champions League. Bayern's only chance for a trophy is Champions League. Arsenal, it's the same thing where they need to win everything. And Atletico just wants to finally cross that fucking. I mean, it's been a curse for them not winning Champions League,
Yeah.
And then Dortmund shouldn't have made it here.
They're just the complete wild card of this entire.
Dortmund had the easiest path to a quarterfinal I've seen in probably 3 years.
They had an easy group going into it.
They had an easy group, and then they played fucking Eindhoven, and who else did they play? Like
PSV, I think.
Yeah, it was PSV Eindhoven. They literally had a fucking cakewalk.
Okay. Well, I mean, regardless, we didn't pick them to make it out of the quarterfinals, so I mean, it's just going to show it's going to be easy death for Atletico. So we picked Madrid to basically make it into the semifinal against Bayern, and the last one of the quarterfinal match number 4, we got Paris Saint-Germain, aka PSG, against Barcelona. Boys, I'll let you guys go at it.
I just want to preference this and say that this is the match that I give the least amount of fucks about. Because
really?
I don't care for either of these fucking teams.
I thought it would be the Madrid, the Atletico Dortmund, because it would just be like kind of like a low scoring.
No, because I fucking hate Dortmund. I don't want them to win anything ever. So for me, I'm giving Atleti there, and I'd like to see Will happy for once in his life. So I'd give him a little push there.
Once that's all I want.
But it's like I here's the thing: PSG wins this game, they go into the next game, they can just flop against Atletico, and if they don't flop against Atletico, they're on the left side of the bracket, and they're gonna flop against Madrid or Bayern. Like they're not winning Champions League, and I think Mbappe knows that, and I don't think he cares. I don't think he's trying because you look at it. I mean, they're fucking subbing him off in league play right now. Like, he doesn't give a shit. He doesn't want to be there. He hates it there. Everybody who's played there in the past 3 years fucking hates it there because they don't know how to treat their players and they just want to bring in players to sell merch and team and gear and shit. It's a joke of a fucking club and a joke of a fucking league. Nobody cares about League One. That's why Uber Eats is their fucking sponsor. Like, who the fuck cares? Fucking Barcelona. I mean, I'm in debt, and I'm probably richer than half the people that are working in Barcelona because they can't afford to pay anybody. They can't afford a cheeseburger. Like they don't like Barcelona's entire team is injured right now, so like they're not doing anything if they win. So I couldn't be bothered less about this fucking game. Well, I'll let you talk, and then we can get into stats and stuff. But like for me, I don't give a shit who wins this game. I really don't. I really don't.
Out of all of the teams, yeah. I was going to say, out of all of the teams, to be honest with you, I want to see the injury report real fast because I don't even know who's playing or not playing. Everyone's injured.
Pedri, Gavi, everybody's hurt. Gundogan's been hurt this year. Like, I like to see Gundogan win, but I'd rather him fucking sack up and play for Germany and win something in Euros.
Yeah, I don't see. So let me see here. Yeah, dude, you like Gavi, Pedri, De Jong, Lewandowski.
I feel so bad for Keylor Navas, bro. Everywhere he's gone, he's expected to be the guy, and then they just bring some other fuck in.
He did not have
4 matches. He's world class. He's a world class keeper.
Yeah, they definitely like missed. I don't know. I mean, they've ever since Ter Stegen's been there though.
Yeah,
Ter Stegen's been the.
Wait, we're looking at PSG. We're looking at Barca because we got PSG pulled up.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, I'm over here looking at my. No. I'm not looking at the screen. That's what I need to do. Go ahead.
Yeah.
So.
No, I mean, like you go into the. I mean, they've got good keepers at PSG. I'll give them that. I don't think Donnarumma is world class. I don't think he's an amazing keeper. I mean, if you look at the team that France has put in front of him, he's got a cakewalk. He's got the easiest job in European sports. Let's go to the defenders here. I am looking at this defense. There's not a single player there that I think. I mean, some of them probably start on these other teams, but it's like none of these players on PSG's defense are like world-class game-breaking players. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah. I think that. I mean, dude, Mbappe's PSG. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, that's I think what it comes down to. I think that's really what this game is going to come down to. If Mbappe decides he wants to show up and play, it's going to be PSG. And on the others, I just like, and it's
what the fuck is this midfield? Like, how does Mbappe get the ball?
It's strange.
How does he get the ball?
That's what I'm saying. So it's got to be a break. It's got to be a counter. It's got to be a quick stab. It's got to be in fast. And I mean, Mbappe is going to make or break this game. That's going to be the make or break for PSG. It's Barca. Dude, I mean, the fact that Gavi's out, Pedri, those are like.
Here's the thing. Go back to PSG real quick. Look at the strikers, bro.
Yeah, they don't have. I mean, is Dembele even playing? Is Dembele playing?
Really playing? He might be playing, but here's the thing, right? Those are all pretty good strikers, but that's just how irrelevant. Like, this team is like the backyardigans equivalent of kickball. Kick the ball to Mbappe and let him do everything.
Yeah, they have to feed him, dude. He's got to. If Mbappe doesn't show up, like I said, I think that's what everything's gonna ride on for Barca. Lewandowski's got to show up, obviously.
He has been doing that a lot.
That's what I'm saying. He has to do something different in this game. But then again, we look at like how the hell is Barca going to be able to do that when Pedri and Gavi, the two chefs that usually cook all their midfield play up.
What is this? Why is Ter Stegen up here? Is he's playing there?
Yeah. Ter Stegen's there. He's their starter.
Oh, I'm tripping. I saw Ter Stegen and read De Gea. I was like, what the fuck?
No, dude, that's the reason I was looking at this while you guys were talking about PSG. I said, yeah, Ter Stegen. No. I mean, dude, Barca, bro. I don't know. Like, I'm
gonna tell you what. Barca's got a better defense overall.
Yeah, if Barca was healthy, Barca would have a better team overall.
Yeah.
But I mean, like I said,
Gavi's out, Pedri's out. Who else is out?
De Jong's out.
De Jong's out. So it's really good. It's really just.
And is Gundogan even? I don't even think Gundogan is Gundogan up.
he's not. He took a knock early, but I think he's back. But he's not the same Gundogan that Gundogan was at City.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like I said, dude.
This attack is dangerous if they're all healthy. I don't know if Felix and Rafinha are healthy. I'm pretty sure Rafinha's out.
Felix is healthy. They're only the only
he hasn't really been doing anything though, right?
Yeah, the only injuries that here's the thing though, it's like the only injuries, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then so first off, De Jong is looking to be expected back by they're saying the 8th of April. That's what I'm looking at.
Yeah, and that's if they rush it. But here's the thing: is they've been relying on their players so much that they are just getting hurt. Like you look at Gavi and Pedri, they didn't miss matches until they started starting for. Like, I think it was, who was it the other day I was looking at? It was like Gavi hadn't missed a game for Spain in his entire career. And then he's getting overused in Barca, and just, they're broken. All those players
and Gavi's got an ACL, dude. So, I mean, at 19, Pedri, you got an ACL.
Yeah. Pedri's been hurt. Both of them have just been broken boys.
Yeah, and I mean, Pedri's he's not looking at coming back till this is all said and done with. So, I mean, if Barca makes it out of the stage, then they'll have a healthier team going into the next stage. But
I don't think they're healthy enough to beat Atletico, though.
No, I don't. But I do believe in this.
Pretty knockout for Atleti too.
Yeah, I do believe in this. Again, the unspoken thing and the elephant in the room is experience. We could say yes, Mbappe has the experience. He's been there multiple times. And some of these other dudes. Who else? What's the
see what I'm saying, bro? Squad. Like, I didn't give a shit about
dude. Like, I just don't know who plays on these teams, man.
Care.
I just don't. I mean, it's not that I don't care. It's just that I don't know. These people are just not in the news, bro. Like, it's like I just. I mean, yeah. So so pull up PSG real quick just to see the team.
Farmers leagues.
Yeah, it's like okay, Mark. All right, you can scroll up real fast. Let me see who's in.
I mean, Emery's pretty good, but it's one guy.
Yeah, I mean, Coutinho's all right.
I mean, outside of that, I mean, it's really like PSG looks like, let's get the defense. Like, what I see off this paper is I'm seeing Hakimi or Hernandez carrying the ball through the midfield, give it to Mbappe, and try to get him to score everything.
That's pretty much it. Yeah. That's pretty much it, man.
Because I like Pereira, but Pereira really doesn't play anything but for Portugal.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's going to come down to Mbappe, I think, in this game. I also, there's a part of me, I've always been a Lewandowski fan. Yep. I'd like to see him do something and turn it up this game and show up. God bless it if Frankie de Jong can actually do something for this. Yes, and just like do something healthy and not get broken. He's the new Dembele, and I'd like to see Barca get through. But I think that, like I said, man, just the amount of ability to change a game that Mbappe has, all it takes is one strike, and I think that PSG is definitely going to get at some point. They're going to break Barca because Mbappe is. I mean, he's like playing against a freaking river, dude. If you're a dam, he's going to break. I think eventually there's going to be a breaking point that comes where PSG is going to get the upper hand. I think they'll make it through.
Even though they have just like in the last matchup with Madrid, Man City, PSG is also in the French Cup right now, and they got 4 games to play till they play Barcelona.
We're talking about the French Cup.
Yeah, so no, the opposite of what we were talking about with every other team having the ability to say I don't really like Man City saying okay, I don't really care about this final, whatever else. I think PSG, dude, if PSG has I don't know financially what they're looking like, but if they are able to somehow pull,
Saudi Arabian Fund owns this team,
right? If they're able to pull somehow this Champions League Cup out of their ass, dude, and do something, I promise you. There's going to be a very weird summer because PSG is going to be selling people stealing money from banks, bro. They're going to be calling every single sheik in the Middle East saying, we need it. We need it. We need it.
Now.
We can lock, dude. They have the ability to lock Mbappe down. I know the thing is Mbappe's talked about leaving PSG, bro. He's French, dude. He's already talked about it a million times. His family's there. Everything's there. Yes, he loves the money. But if PSG can produce the money, and the only way is in combination with a win here, which is like, this is crazy talk, but it could happen. I mean,
I think Mbappe's at the point in his career where he's kind of matured enough to be like, League One isn't like people are talking about him in the GOAT conversations because I mean he's a very good player.
He's there,
but I mean, it's one thing to dominate League One. It's another thing to go and dominate it. I mean, and a lot of people get compared to Ronaldo here, but the fact is the fact that Ronaldo has dominated every league he's played in, which makes him a viable player. It makes him like stand out. And I think that Mbappe personally would like to move to a league where he can take over, become like a Jude Bellingham, and just become like that guy. And I think he at this point, the money's not enough to keep him in PSG.
Yeah, I also see that too
so.
because
I don't think so. Because like even if they win Champions League, it's one Champions League. Who the like I'm sorry, like if you're a superstar and you're on that team, and your coach and your people are talking about blah 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 this that the other, like I'm sorry if I don't know who the coach of PSG is.
Luis Enrique.
Okay, cool. Man, he's okay, coach. He's all right, coach.
Mm-hmm.
If he comes to me and bitches at me about something I didn't do right, I would literally turn around and be like, who the fuck did we buy? Who do we buy? We have nobody. You know what I'm saying? Like that goes back to.
So like there's no prestige in that club right now.
Bro, we literally just talked about it. Who the fuck is on this team?
They haven't helped him. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They haven't helped him, right? If I had someone of that caliber, I'd build around him.
Because like even when they went out and got Neymar and they got Messi, it's like you bring in. It's the same thing that Brazil's problem is. They get a lot of the guys who want to be the one guy on the team. They don't want to play with anybody else, and then you expect them to get along and play well when you're making other players like. The thing that I think Mbappe really hated was playing that three up front with Neymar and Messi. He wasn't playing what he's good at. What he's good at is
what he's
give me the ball, let me facilitate, let me bring it down the field and pound it into the fucking goal.
Right.
Whereas like when you have a Neymar and a Messi player on that team, you got to pass the ball, and he's just like, man, whatever. Pass these guys. I don't care. There's no chemistry on that team. I don't see anybody on that team hanging out together. Like you look at a team like Bayern, like the guys are fucking over at Muller's house every fucking weekend, getting pissed drunk, eating schnozzes. Like they're just, like PSG is not a team that is built as a soccer team. It is built as a business. It is built to make money, and everybody's fucking miserable there.
It's an attraction, I'll say. It's definitely a tourist attraction, I think. But I mean, I also look at like what's the one trophy that Mbappe doesn't have yet is a Champions.
Yeah, but I think that's another reason why he's trying to leave too.
Why he would leave exactly? Yeah. That's yeah. I mean, that's another thing too.
They've gone to semifinals like I want to say 2-3 times.
Yeah, at least.
And they've gone to quarterfinals at least like 4 or 5, and he hasn't been able to get over that hump. But if you look at it, it's because he doesn't have a fucking team.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no one around him.
Like, I don't care. Like, if you put Mbappe on Dortmund, I think that's a completely different team. You know what I'm saying? Like, he is that good of a player, but he needs people to be able to get him the fucking ball consistently.
Well, Dortmund's also just got a better midfield.
That's what I'm saying. Is like they've got to you put him on any team with the midfield, he's world class. You're not losing.
Yeah.
That being said, fuck Barca. I think PSG wins this one.
Well, yeah, I think it's gonna come down to dude. We've said it a million times. We talked about him. I think it's gonna come down to old Kylian and how he plays this game and even to go further on that is how the hell is PSG's mid gonna play, and how are they, and if they're able to, like I said, get those a couple over the top balls on a very shoddy Barcelona defense. I think that's going to be the difference maker. So I definitely see PSG getting through.
But here's the thing too: you got to realize is like even if you get Mbappe the ball in midfield, he's taking it and he's going and he's going to score.
Yeah, I mean he's an individual player. He doesn't need much around him.
That's one of the dynamic pieces about why France was able to win. They did have the midfield that could facilitate, but also just like give Mbappe the ball and let him do what he does, and maybe he'll kick it over to Rabiot and he fucking fires in the back of the net.
Yep.
So
I think I mean I don't know. Well, I think I said it's all going to come down to that. I'd love to see Lewandowski win though, man. I won't side note.
I don't want Barcelona to win the fucking Champions League ever.
This game, at least get through. That'd be nice.
Their fans are so insufferable, bro.
They're bad.
And Madrid's not.
All those fucking little third world kids in fucking Mumbai, all like, oh, watch Barcelona.
None of your jerseys are real.
Like you literally have more jerseys in the bazaar than you do in your team shop.
No.
Oh, but I mean, again, like I said, like if I was gonna make my pick, but I mean, it doesn't matter because you guys both pick PSG, which is perfectly fine. My pick based off again, just me looking at the stats and me hearing from what you guys are saying, and just looking over the last game's highlights and stuff. I would have to give it to Barca just because they have, on paper, from what I've seen, they have a better attacking front and a better goalkeeping situation. PSG definitely has, from what I saw, better defense. So it kind of just really depends on where PSG stands coming after a 4-game lead up to that match against Barca.
Maybe off paper, Barca has a better.
That's what I'm saying. I'm just basing my opinion off of paper. Because, again, I have not kept up with these matches. I've not been keeping up with these teams. Like, again, the more we talk into it, like the next time we meet up, Will, you're more than welcome to invite it. Once these matches are set in stone, like, we're going to come back, we're going to look at the semifinal, and we're going to see what we saw in these quarterfinal matches.
I'm telling you right now, Bayern, Real Madrid with a fully healthy Bayern. I don't know when Coman's back, but if Coman's back by the time they face Bayern or Real Madrid, that's going to be like the game of the year.
That's going to be the matchup. I think just throughout these next 2 games, it's definitely going to be. I mean, Real Madrid City is going to be the
best game.
They screwed this table massively. It would be way better if either the Real grouping or the Bayern grouping were on the other side of the table, because
as like a final champion.
Whoever wins the semifinal on this side between Arsenal's group and Real Madrid's group is winning Champions League. Like, let's just be real. Like, Atletico's good, PSG's good. I don't see either of those teams beating. I could see an Atletico beating Arsenal. I could see PSG maybe beating like a beat up Man City, but neither of those teams are sniffing taint on Bayern or Real Madrid.
No. That's gonna be the final. It's gonna be one of those 4 or 2 teams, rather 3 teams, if you will, because really I'm just looking at it's either City, Madrid, or Bayern. So
like I said though, if Arsenal passes through Bayern and they keep winning and they push up to the top of the league, I could see them pushing through. Arteta is such a good coach, bro.
He is.
He does not get talked about enough because he's in such a big market and there's so many like
other coaches,
guys that have won everything before. But I mean, like if Arteta was on Bayern and coaching Bayern, first off, we would never fucking lose. Second off, he'd be a global phenomenon. He'd be like the new Xabi Alonso. But because he coaches,
but he's not leaving Arsenal for anything. I don't think
he'll carry them until they get sick of them, and then he'll get a really cush job.
He's a gooner forever, dude. I think.
Yeah.
Yep. I don't think he coaches anywhere else.
Yeah, no.
Maybe in Saudi if they throw a fucking bag at him.
Nassar. That kind of bag.
Everyone else did it. Might happen.
Might happen. Of the 4 matchups, which are you guys more excited for?
What do you mean, of the 4?
Of the 4 matchups in the quarterfinals, like which one are you really excited to watch? If there's time to watch.
It's got to be City Madrid.
Madrid. For me, it's definitely going to be Arsenal Bayern. That's gonna, with as tight as that matchup is, and seeing Arsenal there for the first time in a fucking long ass time.
I would say the same thing.
I think
that.
The way that I would equate it would be like watching these two games, it's kind of like I think Bayern Arsenal. Those guys are the underdogs here, just in terms of like team rosters and on paper and stats. I think I'm happy. I'm excited to watch Madrid City because I think it's going to be a blowout on either side, and it's just going to be funny to watch each other.
It's going to be goals,
beat the shit out of each other. But if I'm talking like the most entertaining soccer, it's definitely going to be Bayern Arsenal.
Yeah, I'm also just excited to see who, because it's like it's. I mean, I definitely picked Bayern, and I'm going to stand by my pick 100%. I just think that they're a stronger team, but again,
it'll be sick to watch Arsenal.
It's going to be a good game, dude. I think that's going to be the matchup to watch out of the four.
Out of the four, for sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
All right. Well, those are our picks, guys. It looks like we have a pretty interesting semifinal going into it. Again, you guys said the quarterfinals doesn't start until April, right?
So quarterfinal first leg is April 9th for Bayern's side of the table, and I don't know if it's offsetting. It's usually like a Tuesday Wednesday thing. So like one side of the table play Tuesday, 2 games on Tuesday, 2 games on Wednesday.
Right.
Then the next week after that, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Right, because I saw that in between the quarterfinal matches, like the sets, they have other games they play. Yeah.
They give them like 2 weeks.
Okay, cool. Well, this has been a very interesting
because last year they didn't do that or the year with COVID they didn't do that, and it was all fucking wonky and shit.
It was like a lot worse to follow.
Yeah, because it was
weird.
That COVID year they just fucking crammed soccer in everywhere.
Oh yeah, I mean, what else was there going to?
And even the World Cup year, they fucking just crammed everything.
Yeah, it was a really crammed situation there.
And that's why you see a lot of those players picking up injuries now after the fact, is because they were playing so long and then they had a normal off season. But
so it was kind of like a weird situation to come off of.
Shit kicked out of you for almost a full entire calendar year.
No, I feel it. Yeah. Well,
Bones
I mean,
will break.
Hey, no, for sure. Hey, man. Well, I had fun here. I learned a lot. Again, I really did not know anything going into it, but I kind of feel a little bit more ready to watch these matches, watch these plays, or at least watch the highlights and see what's going on. And, Will, again, thank you again for coming through, giving your insight for everything.
Yeah, it was more of an outside. I'm not, no, but it was fun. It was first time, look forward to it. I'm excited now talking about this and going into it, seeing what's going to happen.
Yeah, man, it's going to be I think it's going to be a pretty cool quarterfinal situation. Matt, I know you're going to be on it and letting me know what the fuck's going on in the entire time. So yeah, man.
Who knows? Maybe we stream a couple games here, watch them. Well, maybe not stream them.
Yeah, we might stream. We might stream a few games, or at least on Discord or anything like that. We can obviously watch them together and see what's going on. Again, life is life, and at least what we said at the beginning, it has not allowed us to freaking keep up with any of the games like that. So, I mean, it is what it is. But if any game that we could probably watch together, I'm down for it.
Yeah.
I am off on April 9th. I will be going somewhere to watch Bayern and Arsenal play if anybody would like to join me.
April 9th is a Tuesday, and I will have my new job, so I have no idea what my schedule is going to be looking like, so I'll let you know.
Yeah, I don't start school till the week after, so I'll be free, I think.
There you go.
I don't know.
There you go. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes today's episode. I hope everyone enjoyed. Again, big shout out to the big man himself, Will, for joining us today, giving us his input on the quarterfinals. We hope to see you again. Again, you're more than welcome to be invited to the next episode or any other episode. It doesn't have to pertain to soccer,
will be
man.
Prominently featuring in multiple areas.
Love it. Love to hear it, man.
Yeah.
Will, do you have anything to say to the fans before we head out and close out?
No, watch the games. Don't be like me. Watch the games. Try to watch them live if you can, and then tell me about it. So I don't have to watch the highlights. No, I'm just kidding.
No, for real.
No, I'm like I said, man. I'm this has me excited about it. I have a little bit more knowledge, knowing who's healthy, who's not, and but like I said, just a better overall kind of insight on what's going on and leading into this stuff. It's fun to talk about it, and I'll tell you, like right now, if you got a couple extra bucks, I think there's a little bit of money to be made on these games
for sure.
So it's exciting all the way around. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it. Look forward to it.